What is up, everybody? Welcome to AK Plays. I'm AK. Let's play.
We got him where we want him. It's a trap!
Alright, everybody, so today I'm going to be talking about Call of Duty Black Ops 4, more specifically their Battle Royale mode, Blackout. Now, I played their multiplayer a couple weeks ago when they had the beta out for that, and it really didn't meet my expectations. Now, Blackout, the Battle Royale, it had a lot of expectations for me. I was very excited about this mode, and the one downside for me is I was out of town for the time when it was open. I only got to play one day of the beta. Now, the entire time while I was waiting to play, I was seeing videos from Call of Duty YouTubers to random reaction YouTubers to even YouTubers in the Division community putting out videos on how awesome Battle Royale Blackout was on Call of Duty. Now, I was really hyped to see everybody putting all that kind of hype on this game. I just thought it was going to be really fun. Now, when I finally got a chance to play it, I got to see, did it meet the hype that everyone had put up for it? And the answer is kinda. Now, I was a little bit of a disadvantage. People had been playing for 2 days before I had, and so I felt like people knew the maps and knew everything about it a little more than I did. However, even despite that, I had a lot of fun. Now, it would be a lot more fun in a group. When I played it with a 4-man team, and it was people that I actually like friends with and I could talk to, and you coordinate, it was really, really fun. And it's a little bit slower pacing than games like Fortnite, but I think with that slower pacing, when you have a big team, it becomes more tactical, and you feel like it's more, not necessarily realistic, but it's a little bit more fun. You get to kind of coordinate and have plans, and things move a little bit slower, which I like. I feel like the kind of the arcade-ish games where everything's moving super duper fast and you need to react immediately to be able to do anything, I think that's kind of, not my style. Now, games like this I enjoy, and I had a lot of fun with it. There are a couple things that I think need to be kind of tweaked, which I'm sure they will. Which, for me, the big thing was picking up weapons and picking up things off the ground. It just felt super duper slow. Now, in the Division, you can just run over items and hold X and you're going to pick them up. Now, it's not that important because usually that's just gear, but in this game, you got to pick up those weapons and gear mods and other things quickly. And to do that, it's pretty rough. You kind of have to stare at the thing on the ground, and you have to look for like the small area where it shows up. And it's pretty tough. As you can see right in this clip, I'm struggling to pick it up and I accidentally open a door behind myself. It's pretty rough, but from what I understand, they are going to try to tweak this and make it easier so you don't have to stare at the ground and find what you want to pick up and hold X. And it's a little clunky, and I think they're going to probably smooth that out when the game finally drops. And that should improve it greatly. Now, as for the gunplay and the time to kill, it's pretty darn quick. There is the armor, which is a little bit of little odd. I think they adjusted it really, really quickly though, and they were on it, because at the start of this game during the beta, the armor made you kind of invincible from what I saw on people that I was watching their videos. And by the time I played, the armor didn't really feel like a huge factor. I mean, yes, it kind of made the time to kill a little slower, but it wasn't that noticeable. It would end up being a bullet or two, but it really wasn't bad. I would say that they're fixing that. They're fixing the whole pickup speed and getting things off the ground. I think that'll be good. Once they get those two things kind of taken care of, the time to kill isn't bad. The map flows pretty well. It's a little bit slow when you're solo, but from what I heard, they're upping the player count, which should make the game go a little faster. And that, I mean, they're kind of addressing everyone's concerns, and for the first time, Call of Duty is really on top of it. Usually they're pretty detached from the community. If you didn't know, that's kind of the game that I played before Division dropped, is I played a lot of Call of Duty. And then when the Division came out, I kind of abandoned Call of Duty. And either way, they usually never pay attention to the community, and they're pretty disconnected, but in this case, they're kind of on point. They have a pulse on the community, and they're really taking everybody's needs seriously, which is good. So I think that they're addressing the concerns, which is pickup and looting is slow. Like you can see, I'm going through this dude's backpack, and honestly, I wish it was like the Division where you just had a huge drop-down menu of what they had in their backpack. Which I don't know. I mean, that might just be me being used to one thing and wanting that everywhere. But either way, I think it's good. There's those small things that I think they're going to address. As an overall thing, though, the gaming experience is really good, and I think this game is worth the hype. Now, when it comes to if they fix all these little items and they continue to monitor what the community wants. If they do that, this game will be really, really good. Because as it sits, it has huge potential, and it can be a ton of fun. Now, you are going to probably want to have headphones because hearing people is super important. I have like not the best headphones right now because I have my stuff set up for Division, which your game sound isn't super important. You don't need to worry about footsteps. You can just kind of play the game, and the sound is more for enjoyment than it is for actual use. I mean, of course, you need to hear shock turrets and things like that, but in this game, you're going to want to have good headset that you can hear people walking across the building on a different floor, and you want to be able to hear that because it'll help enhance your ability to win. Now, overall, this game was very fun, and I was impressed with it. They're going to fix these little things, and they're going to probably tweak it, which is going to be good. Maps flow well, time to kill is good, and solo is a little slow, but they're adding players. Group play, I think, was awesome, and I think that's where this game's at its best, is if you're playing with a 4-man team. So, I do encourage you to try Blackout when it comes out, and that's kind of my summary, and that's my reaction to this game. Now, as it compares to Division, which is kind of different, I know a lot of people don't really do this, but I like to compare things to my source game. Now, for me, that's The Division. I play that every day for hours and hours and hours. And as it compares to The Division, it is extremely different. Obviously, the time to kill is way, way faster. Yes, you can occasionally burn people in The Division and get a quick kill, but it's pretty rare. And in this case, you're going to be mostly getting quick kills. Your snipers are going to be 1 shot or 2 shots, and it's a lot of fun in that respect. Now, The Division has slower time to kill, which allows more tactics. This game, you're not going to have as much of that. Your tactics are going to have to be a little faster, and you're going to have to kind of plan before you get into a gunfight. So it's a little different in that respect. Other than that, I mean, the whole first person to third person change isn't huge. It's kind of intuitive, and you'll get into it, and it's not that difficult of a transition. I definitely don't see myself playing this a ton in the way of like taking over the channel for Division content. I think that I'm going to stick with The Division and probably play that, as I said a few weeks ago when I was talking about this. I think that I'll be playing The Division 5-6 days a week, and then the other day or two I'll play this game when it comes out. But as it stands, I don't see this completely taking over. I do think that it has potential to take away from PUBG's audience. I think PUBG is going to kind of die out, and this game is going to take over that audience. As for Fortnite, I think the people that enjoy the gameplay of Fortnite but don't like the cartoonish look, I think they'll come to this game, which is good. So I don't think this is the Fortnite killer that some people say it is. I think that it is definitely a PUBG killer, and it's definitely going to take a good amount of Fortnite's audience that has been looking for a mature game that isn't PUBG. Now, PUBG, I think their big issue is that it was just visually really hard to look at, and it didn't play very well. I think that this game will play well, and I think that it has a developer that's going to stay on that. So overall, I think it's going to be a good game, and it's going to be a huge success. That's basically my reactions, my thoughts. If you have any other questions, if you agree, disagree, if you played this more than I did, because I only had about probably 4 or 5 hours playing this, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things. I would have liked to have had 3 days worth of playtime on this, but I was just out of town, unfortunately, for the first couple days of this launch. For beta, not for the overall launch. This game will be coming out in, I believe, late October, and it'll be interesting. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. It's a little bit different. I usually don't cover other games, but every month or so I do. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.
That's a hard fail.
1 out and 1 HP!
Where are you?